Hi everybody, Sherry here. Welcome back to my channel, Sherry Jones Designs. In today's video, I'm doing a voiceover because it was raining and it was so noisy out that my audio just didn't turn out too good. But what do you think? This is what we're making today, and it was so much fun to make, so comfortable, and all you need is just a plain hoodie of some kind and a shirt to go with it. You could probably do it even with a denim jacket or something. So what I'm going to do, I want it to come down straight, so I'm cutting the band off the bottom. I went right below the seam line, and I'm just going to cut that elastic band off. And not a hard project at all. It was fun to make, super comfy. I loved it. I think I will make more of these, and probably even some just for myself. So you're going to leave that zipper part on the front, and then you're going to fold it over and cut straight up underneath the armpit, leaving maybe like a ½ inch or so there because you want to be able to stitch it. And we're going to be putting that shirt in there, yeah, of course, but you do this to both sides. And on the zipper at the bottom, I left about a ½ inch there too or so because I got to be able to sew next to it without sewing the metal zipper. Now the applique I decided to make here was a heart, and so I am using, this is upcycled packaging paper that I save and use for this purpose. And what I'm doing is I'm sketching out my heart. I've got a piece of paper folded in half. I'm using a pair of craft scissors here, and I've cut out my heart shape. Once I'm happy with that, I found a plate that made the perfect pattern for what I want to do on the back, which is a peace sign. This is an 11-inch plate. If you're making one of these, you may need something bigger or smaller. And now I'm going to cut out my general shape, and I'm just going to sketch out the peace sign on the inside. And when I'm happy with it, you could put any kind of applique on this on the back. You could do patchwork. You could cut out your favorite t-shirt piece. Let's say your t-shirt wore out, but you like the saying on it. You could cut that out and put that on the back. You could cut a shape out like a heart and put lace on the back side of your jacket. The possibilities are just endless. So I'm doing a peace and love one. So I decided let's just do it all in the plaid. And I really loved how it turned out. I thought it was so cute. But here I go. I'm just cutting it out. And I want to see frayed edges. I want this to be sort of hippie kind of, preppy hippie kind of thing going on here. And once I'm happy that it is the size I want, now we're going to start cutting the shirt apart. And I'm laying it out as flat as I can because I want a bottom ruffle, and I know I'm going to need at least 2 widths. Now if you're doing this and you don't have a serger, remember to leave extra to turn under. You will need at least a ½ inch extra on the top and the bottom if you put the fringe on the way I did, because I wanted to see it fray from above, to crinkle above and below, not fray. So, okay, I'm happy with my ruffle now that I've cut out, and now I'm making sure I have enough for my peace sign, and I did. So I'm going to go ahead and dismantle this shirt. The first thing I do is I remove the sleeves, and I'm going to cut the collar off and the back piece out, and I'm just getting, access to the fabric that is in this shirt. I didn't end up using the pockets that came on this shirt, which is fine because, I can use them later on something else. They won't go to waste, and even the little pieces won't go to waste. We'll use them in something else. This is just a really fun way, you go to yard sale and pick up a couple of things and make yourself a really cute little tunic. And so here I've got my piece is finally big enough, and I'm going to quite thoroughly pin this thing down because it moves so easy. But I didn't want to use the chalk on it, but if it was just for me and I knew I was going to be washing it really soon, I would have just used probably a fabric marker that washes out and just drew my lines and then took my pattern off. But because I wasn't going to do that, it was a little tricky. I had to go to a smaller pair of scissors and pin it really good. But I did just cut it out with the pattern in place. And then I saved my pattern so I can use it later. And I love that paper they send in, like your Amazon packages and stuff. I flatten it out and roll it up, and I use it to make all my little patterns and different things with it. It's got a nice weight to it. So, okay, so I'm like, all right, I'm getting my pattern pieces all cut out here, and we're pretty much ready to start putting things together. It's so exciting. So we're gonna pin these all in place on the outfit now where I want them to go. And just in case you hear snoring in the background, that is my cat. My microphone picks up quite a few things, and I have this big reddish orange tabby male cat, and he snores so much. So here I am. What I did on this was I zigzagged it, and then I went around and zigzagged it again because I wanted it to fray but not fall off. And one thing I want to caution when you do this, because it's on a knit, it's going to want to stretch. I did get some stretch, but be careful, like if your jacket falls off your desk, it will pull on it and you won't even realize it as you're sewing it, and it will stretch it. So you will get a lot of waving and undesirable effects if you pull on knit while sewing on it, because it's basically like how you install an elastic is you pull on it, sew it in so it can pull the fabric, and wrinkle it. Well, it'll do the same thing with knit. If you sew a knit that is stretched, then it will try to pull back once you're done, and you can see it's trying to do it already on me. I'm getting like a wave there. And there are things you can do, like fusible interfacing, and iron it on. There are other things, but I didn't want to use other products. I just wanted to make it all upcycled. Like if I didn't, have anything but thread. It's a personal challenge, and so it's going quite well. I love the result. And so once I got that sewn on and I went around it twice, I decided, okay, let's pin the heart on. And let's also and the reason I decided, do your appliques before you do your side pieces so that you can lay the jacket out as flat as possible. It'll just make it easier for you. You could do it the other way around, but it's easier to put your appliques on first. Now I'm going to take the other sleeve. I used one to make the heart, so I only had one sleeve left at this point. And I slit it up, and I used each half to make my side slits. And the way you do this is you put it underneath, and you make sure at the bottom it's the same width on both sides. So I went with 5 inches. I went as far as I could with what I had. And I pinned them at 5 inches each, trim them off, but you pin them all the way up and down because you don't want them shifting on you while you're at the machine. And I did this for both sides, making sure they were the same width at the bottom of the wedge. Now I'm top stitching that back and forth to make sure I have a place to start. And then I'm going to stitch them in place all the way down. And I did both sides the same way, pulling my pins as I went. Super easy. If you're working with real stretchy fabric, one trick you can do is stop and just back up every now and then, and it will make it super strong at like every 3-4 inches so that your stitching doesn't pull and break when wearing it. And this is another trick you can use when stitching knit fabrics. So here I am connecting now my 2 pieces that I cut off for my bottom ruffle. I'm just connecting them. And I'm going to serge mine, but if you didn't have a serger, you would zigzag the edges, turn them under 1/4 inches, and sew that down with either a straight or a zigzag stitch, and then attach it. I am serging mine because I want to see the little black edge in the ruffle, and it looks really cute. It just leaves a little black edge, and then I trimmed off the inside of my angles I sewed in, and I folded one over accidentally and sewed it in place. I wanted to show you that here. It's fine if you do that, just trim it off. It actually makes it extra strong. No biggie at all. And it looks kind of white washed out here, the color. It's because I have very bright white lamps in my sewing room so I can see stains. If you have trouble seeing stains and your upcycled fabrics that you're using, use a very bright white LED light bulb, and you will be able to see the stains really easy that you would otherwise miss. So now I'm laying it out flat, and I am cleaning up this bottom edge so I can attach my ruffle. And you could notice at the zipper how much I left. I left at least a ½ inch or more. And this ruffle, I folded it in half and made a mark at the halfway. And then I folded it in half again, so I had equal like quarter amounts. And then I'm attaching it to the jacket in the quarter at the quarter point. See, here's the middle at the back is, and I attach it at each point so I know how much to ruffle, because I'm going to finger ruffle this. You can ruffle other ways. You can do it with a basting stitch and pull it, but I like the way the finger ruffle looks, and it's fast for me to do. So you can mark even the halfway of the halfways if you want. And here I'm using my Singer machine, because my other one that I normally use, I could not get the foot up high enough to get that metal zipper under. I fought it and I fought it. I even fought it on this one, which goes higher. So once I finally got it in place, I think I spent more time doing that than almost anything. That metal zipper just wanted to catch and grab. It was heavy duty, which is why I like the jacket, but I ended up being the trouble of the jacket. But it worked out just fine. After my battle was over, I got the ruffle all on and I wanted to put my cuffs on. I cut up right to that seam. I didn't cut into it, just right up to it, and then I trimmed my cuff of the shirt that I had left over. And there wasn't much of this shirt left, a collar and little bits of shoulder pieces. And I sewed this cuff in, and it was a little bit long, so I just stretched the knit to match, and it looked fine. It was almost exactly the same size, so it went right in. I stuck it in maybe like a ½ inch or 3/4 to give it a kind of a look like it was in a shirt you were wearing with it sticking out. I just thought that was fun. So guys, we are almost done here. Thank you for watching my videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And this was the product of our episode 2 challenge, and it turned out really cute, guys. I hope you make one. I'm going to make more of these. Thank you for watching so much. Love you all, and I will see you all in the next video.